Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news, all right, Lions fans. You know how the NFL offseason can sometimes feel like a roller coaster. And boy, do we have a roller coaster for you today. Rumors are swirling about a potential blockbuster trade that could redefine the landscape of the NFC North. And more importantly, set us up for a serious shot at that elusive Super Bowl. We're talking about the Detroit Lions potentially adding Will Anderson Jr. from the Houston Texans. Yeah, you heard that right. This isn't just another trade rumor. This is something that could shake the foundation of our division and propel Detroit back into serious championship contention. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's set the stage. The Texans, sitting at 7-5 with a shaky cap situation, around $20 million over the cap after extensions for Stroud, are in a bit of a rebuild mode. They're trying to squeeze every penny while also trying to stay competitive, but the reality is they're looking to shed some salary and rebuild their defense. Houston's defense has been a bit leaky, especially in the run game, allowing an average of 140 yards per game. They've also been struggling to generate enough pass rush, with only 16. 5 sacks allowed in December 2025, which is a sign they're trying to patch things up quickly. To make room for some of their younger talent and free up cap space, the Texans are making some bold moves. They're willing to part ways with their young star pass rusher, Will Anderson Jr. And that's where the Lions come into the picture. Will Anderson Jr., just 24 years old, is a freak of nature. This guy is explosive off the edge, and his stats back that up. 20 sacks in his young career, including a stellar 15 in 2025. In that season, he also had 25 solo tackles, 15 assists, and a total of 40 combined pressures. He's currently ranked among the top pass rushers in the NFL, with a total of 10, 5 sacks and an 88. 5 PFF grade in 12 games despite battling a shoulder injury in Week 8. When you look at his game film, it's easy to see why the Lions are interested. His pressure rate is top tier with a 24% win rate, placing him among the elite pass rushers like Micah Parsons. He averages 1.2 pressures per game more than our own Aiden Hutchinson, and his ability to generate QB hits and hurried throws makes him a game changer. Anderson's impact could be huge for a Lions defense that already boasts a formidable duo of Hutchinson and James Houston, who together have combined for nearly 30 sacks this season. Now, it's not just about Anderson's talent. It's also about the strategic move by Houston to free up cap space. They're trying to make a push for the playoffs, but with the recent struggles, allowing 140 yards per game rushing and losing key players like Diggs, who commands a $25 million cap hit, they're prioritizing youth and cap flexibility for future rebuilds. They're eyeing draft picks, specifically 2 first-rounders in 2026, to help accelerate their rebuild. This trade could be a win-win if the Texans get those high picks and some cap relief. But for Detroit, adding a player of Anderson's caliber could be the final piece we need to turn an already great defense into an unstoppable force. And let's talk about the Lions' defense this season. We're already sitting at an impressive 10-2 record, leading the NFC North. Our defense has been a cornerstone, allowing just 18 2-points per game, one of the best marks in the league. Hutchinson has been a beast, with 9 sacks so far, and our young core of defenders has developed beautifully. But imagine adding Anderson into the mix. The projection is staggering. If we land him, sacks could jump from 32 to over 41, with our pressure rate increasing significantly. Our run defense could take a massive leap, dropping from 125 yards allowed per game to under 100. That would make us not just a good defense, but one that's feared across the league, capable of shutting down even the most potent offenses. Moreover, the impact on our secondary would be huge. With more pressure on the quarterback, our defensive backs, like Jeff Okudah and Brian Branch, would benefit from fewer throws coming their way, and the secondary could tighten up even more. Our secondary has already been improved this season, and with an elite pass rusher like Anderson, they could be even more effective, forcing opponents into difficult third-and-long situations. That's a recipe for turnovers, And as we all know, turnovers are often the difference makers in close games. We're already sitting at 22 takeaways this season, up from 15 last year, and Anderson's addition could give us the extra edge we need to push that number even higher. Switching gears to the bigger picture, the NFL odds have shifted quite a bit with this potential move. The Lions, already sitting with a plus 1,200 shot to win Super Bowl LXI, could see those odds improve to plus 700 if we land Anderson and continue to dominate on defense. Our chances of winning the NFC North also improve, with the divisional odds moving from minus 200 to minus 300. And it's not just about this season. Adding a player like Anderson could set us up for sustained success, giving us a defensive anchor for years to come. Our goal is clear. We want to build a team that's not just good enough to make the playoffs, but one that can contend for the Lombardi every year. Now, let's think about the long-term implications. The Lions have been building steadily over the past few seasons under Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. We've seen glimpses of what this team can become, an aggressive, physical squad that plays with passion and grit. Adding Anderson Jr. would be the cherry on top, a player who embodies that same relentless attitude and energy. It's reminiscent of the 1990s Lions teams with Kersey and Ford, teams that fought tooth and nail and played with swagger. This move could help forge a new era, one where Detroit is known not just for its offensive firepower led by Jared Goff, but also for a defense that's as dominant as our offense. And let's not forget the fans. We've waited so long for a true contender, and with this kind of move, we're sending a message to the entire league that Detroit is all in. It's about winning now, but also about building a legacy, a team that fans can be proud of for generations. The excitement is palpable, and the potential of pairing Hutchinson and Anderson on the same front line gives us a defense that's reminiscent of the best in the league, an elite rush duo capable of terrorizing quarterbacks and forcing turnovers at critical moments. Imagine the roar of the Ford Field crowd when those two collide with the ball carrier or sack the quarterback, pure electricity. Of course, it's not all smooth sailing. The Texans are in a tough spot, trying to rebuild on the fly, and they're reportedly eager to get those draft picks. They're also eyeing their draft strategy to focus on cornerbacks, aiming to shore up their secondary through the draft, which makes sense given their current struggles. So, a trade involving Anderson might depend on how willing Houston is to part with those first-round picks and what else they might want in return. But if the Lions can make a deal happen, it could be the move that elevates us from a very good team to a true superpower. Looking ahead, the NFL landscape is shifting. The NFC North is becoming more competitive, and with the Packers, Bears, and Vikings all in various stages of rebuilds, this division is wide open. The Lions have a golden opportunity, especially if we can add a player of Anderson's caliber. Our schedule looks favorable moving forward, and with continued growth from Jared Goff and our offensive weapons, we're poised to make a serious push deep into the playoffs. But defense wins championships, as they say, and if we bolster ours with Anderson, we're not just contenders, we become favorites. So, Lions fans, keep your eyes on this story. It's developing quickly, and the potential impact is huge. This isn't just about adding another player. This is about reshaping our entire identity and setting the stage for a new era of Lions football. Our team is already on the rise, but with a game-changing talent like Will Anderson Jr. The sky's the limit. We're talking about a team that can compete with the best of the best, a team that could bring the Lombardi Trophy back to Detroit after all these years of waiting. This move could be the one that truly cements our status as a powerhouse in the NFL and makes Ford Field the place to be every Sunday. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think landing Will Anderson Jr. is the piece we need to push us over the top? Would you trade those draft picks for a player who could redefine our defense? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Lions, and I'll be back soon with even more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news. Let's keep that passion alive, Lions Nation, because the best is yet to come.